Hi everyone, it's Lucy here from Bruce's and I'm here to show you how to make a perfect, quick and easy tree decoration this Christmas. So all you'll need is some plain flour, some salt and some water. And before we begin, we're just going to preheat the oven to around 180 degrees. We are then going to measure out 120 grams of flour, 60 grams of salt and around 120 milliliters of water. Mix that all together and we're looking to get it to a sort of dough-like consistency. It's also vitally important that you consult your sous chef for quality control. Looks like we've got the thumbs up from Jinx. You may also need to add in some extra flour if the dough is looking a little bit too runny. Then once you have your dough, it's time to give it a little bit of a knead before we start rolling it out. Ideally, we're after around a ½ inch thickness. Then it's time to cut out the shape that we're after. If you don't have a cookie cutter, don't panic. You can always use a mug or a glass that's about the same size as your dog's paw. And then it's on to the fun bit. So make sure you have lots of treats on hand and remember that this should be a fun activity for you and your dog, so make sure they're happy to join in too. The paw print should look a little something like this, and we thank our sous chef again with lots of delicious treats. We're then going to make a little hole for the ribbon so we can hang the ornament on our tree. Final quality control check there from Jinx, and then we're ready to pop them in the oven on a lined tray. So in the oven they go. We're going to check in on them every half an hour or so, but we just want them to be dry and hard. An hour and a half should be more than enough time for this. Ta-da! So now that they are nice and cooled, we're going to move on to the decorating. For the first one, I painted in the paw print itself, obviously opting for a lovely shade of blue. And then for the second one, I did the opposite, but you can decorate them however you'd like with glitter, paint, or you can keep them plain and simple. If they've made Santa Claus's nice list this year, you can also add on their names as well. And then we're going to place them somewhere warm and dry before we seal them. You can use any kind of sealant, glaze, or just a clear coat, which will hopefully make them last a little bit longer and keep them nice and shiny. Lastly, we're just going to poke the ribbon through the hole that we made earlier. You can also tie them into a little bow like this. And then they are ready to be hung on the tree. We'd love to see your homemade ornaments, so make sure to tag us on social media. Happy making and a very Merry Christmas!